Warning: the following video is not for children or people who are easily offended. Jesus and Hitler, a romance. Chapter 2. Here is the second chapter of my epic romance, long thought lost but rescued by a loyal fan. Please remember that the characters and events of this story are fictional, and I retain all copyrights. Jesus and Hitler had been living together for almost 2 years now. They did everything together. Go shopping, shower, and have intense fuck sessions with teenage slave boys rented from the local Jewish temple. They were like an old married couple, except for one thing. They weren't married. Hitler sought to remedy that. Hitler wrestled Jesus down onto the floor one afternoon and gave the Lord the best blowjob he possibly could, complete with rimming and a stinky pinky. After our Lord blew his load and shared a salty kiss with the Furor, he felt something cold slide onto his softening member. Looking down, he saw it, a golden cock ring with the biggest diamond this side of the Nile.
Oh, Addie, does this mean what I think it means?
Hitler was too choked up to say anything, but he nodded. Jesus threw his arms around the Aryan hunk.
Oh, Hitler, you've made me the happiest girl in the world.
He paused.
But we'll have to get my father's permission first, and he doesn't know I'm gay. We'll have to go to heaven to talk to him.
Hitler was confused, but Jesus explained his plan to him, and he agreed. That night they snuck into Pontius Pilate's palace and started murdering every woman and child they could find. They stole from room to room, crushing skulls and slitting throats until a centurion found a little girl with her brains splattered on the floor and raised the alarm. The Lord and the Fuhrer were soon caught and were taken to Golgotha to be executed.
This way,
explained the Anointed One,
we won't be committing suicide.
Hitler agreed that it was a good plan. Soon after they were crucified, they both died and ascended to heaven. There they went into God's living room. Jesus started to introduce Hitler, but God cut him off. I know him. He did some good work for me in the future. He gave Hitler a friendly smile, which made him feel uncomfortable. Jesus spoke.
Dad, we have something to tell you. Hitler and I, well...
Go on, son.
We're gay and we want to get married,
Jesus blurted out. What? That's impossible. No son of mine is a homo. God raised his hand to slap Jesus, but he was crying too hard.
It's okay, Dad, really. Me and Hitler love each other and we want to spend the rest of our lives together. We came here today because we want your permission to marry.
God sighed. Okay, son, if it'll make you happy. He leaned in to give Jesus a kiss on the forehead, but he missed and ended up making out with Jesus. They separated, but it was so hot that they were back at each other soon enough. Oh, God, what am I doing? Said God. He tore off his clothes. Hitler was already nude, and Jesus slipped off his toga with a shrug. They did everything. Chain bangs, DP Eiffling. God even turned off gravity for even wilder positions and switched genders a few times for laughs. Jesus was a hog and tried to get his father and boyfriend to abuse him with both their schlongs at the same time. But Hitler and God managed to share a few intimate moments. After nearly 4 hours of wild lovemaking, all three gods were exhausted. They lay in a puddle of sweat and semen. Jesus was bruised and bleeding, but his father bought a potion from a local merchant for 2 gold and healed him. After that, he sent the 2 loveboards back to Earth and to get married in a traditional Jewish ceremony. He was sad to see them go, but he knew that he'd just be a third wheel. He went to his bedroom, turned on the TV, and poured himself some scotch.